Have you guys heard this fascinating story about Jay Sean Ross? He was a football player at Alabama Crimson Tide with some mob ties from Kansas City. Now check this out. This man on the far left is Coach Sansoni from St. Pius X High School. Now it's said that Jay Sean lived in a Section 8 housing unit that backed up to a prominent Italian family in Kansas City, Missouri, their neighborhood called Little Italy. This neighborhood is rumored to have tunnels underneath it and bowling alleys and movie theaters and all of this wild shit in Kansas City. Now I can confirm that none of that is true, but this family has some fascinating stories. Hold on. The neighborhood was bought and built for his entire family by this family man and mob boss named Tony Ripes Savella. Now he is since deceased, but he is also in the mob museum, and if you don't know him, perhaps you know their brother, his brother, which is Nick Savella, said to have had more juice than JFK. So now they have built this entire neighborhood for their family. It's a fascinating concept, and it's really a great thing because literally up one side of the street, down the other side, the up one side and down the other side, it's all family. If you lived in that neighborhood, you were related. You were a cousin, a brother. They all lived together, and they eat Sunday dinners together every Sunday. The Italians have family down pat. And while organized crime is a thing in the past for the mafia, these people are just trying to mind their own business and do the right thing, okay? So this is long ago. But it's a vendetta the FBI has had against these people since the 70s. Okay, now hold on. With that being said, Jay Sean was trying to shovel driveways in this neighborhood knowing nothing of the sort. He was just trying to get money for food. So I guess that Coach Sansoni's girlfriend was outside and saw this happening. Well, she invited Jay Sean and his little brother into the family home where Jay Sean and Coach Sansoni would start talking. Now check this out. The Italian community would literally come together and put this kid through high school, Catholic school, where this kid would be the victim of organized harassment more than one time, okay? So when I tell you the stats on this kid, they took him to Pius for basketball, but they tried him out in football because they just had a feeling that he was a phenomenal athlete. This kid showed up and showed out. Now, mind you, this is a story that is movie worthy, if nothing. So this kid, he's all over Twitter. He's loud, he's proud, he should be. Check his stats. Jay Sean Ross. Hold on. This is head coach Simone and his wife Kristen and their children. Now they adopted Jay Sean Ross. I do not know all the details, but when I tell you this family, you can't meet a nicer family. There's nothing bad that can be said about any of these people. They work very hard for a living and they do everything for the youth. And you cannot commend people for trying to change the youth. I mean, they don't get enough credit. So they took in Jay Sean and his little brother. So like I said, I don't know all of the details, but I do know it involves something very legal, which is THC that Jay Sean doesn't even do. So weed is legal. I'm confused on the deals here, but you can look into this. My concern is the Adderall, okay? So Jay Sean was taught that Adderall is literally only one component off of methamphetamines, and he's very aware that the majority of people that were ever on Adderall, they fall to meth addiction. So Jay Sean, I don't know what the details are exactly other than the THC, which is definitely a disadvantage for athletes. These kids are out here amped up on amphetamines. And could you imagine the advantage of a bookie if he knows which athletes are on Adderall, amped up on amphetamines? You guys, Adderall came from Hitler. Amphetamines came from Adolf Hitler feeding it to his soldiers so that they could run for a week or 10 days at a time with no sleep and no food. This is wild that it's accepted in any athletic division nationwide. This needs to be looked into. And Jay Sean Ross, he's just a fall guy. Another black phenomenal athlete in the news over illegal THC while his teammates are strung out on amphetamines. This is wild.